I'm headed to Leah and Kate's house tonight. We're going to meet up with Hannah to give Hannah the charm bracelet that we literally spent hours on at the cabin. So very excited for that. We're going to present it to her and then also give her the opportunity to make a charm bracelet, a charm for her dog, a charm for her cat, anything that she wants. So the tomato margarita that I was originally going to make for the cabin while I was staying at my parents', I actually didn't have time to make it, mostly because I wasn't sure if I would be able to go to the cabin. So I was like, I'm not going to make it and then not use it. So I'm going to our local grocer that has really amazing produce, and I'm going to get some heirloom tomatoes and probably some cherry tomatoes as well to make the syrup for tonight. These glasses keep pushing down because I did my skincare, so I have like serum on my face, slippery surface. So yes, I'm also gonna try to grab some either smoked salt or black salt of some kind to put on the corn that we're having tonight. We're probably going to use a bunch of herbs from Leah's garden. She has gorgeous purple basil right now. We actually were just here yesterday, as you saw, getting ingredients for a tomato focaccia. Oh, the other thing, I'm gonna make like a salt for the rim, the margaritas tonight. Sloan actually made we have a dehydrator, and Sloan dehydrated a bunch of tomatoes from our grocery haul a couple weeks ago and made tomato powder. So they did that, they put that in the focaccia, and I think I'm gonna make a salt with it as well. Probably just put it in our little Ninja blender with our flaky sea salt, grind it down a bit, and we'll rim the glasses with that. All right, here we go. Oh, also, when I get back, I have to show you the knitting project that I've been working on. The crystal poncho did not work out because I didn't calculate the gauge correctly, made it a little bit too narrow, so it's really not going to cover the amount that I need from shoulder down, so we'll see. All right, I am back from the grocery store. I ended up getting the heirloom cherry tomatoes. They have kind of like a purplish tint to them, and then 2 Romas. And the recipe calls for 2 cups of chopped tomatoes, 1 cup of sugar, and 1 cup of water. So what I did was 3 cups of chopped tomatoes, 1 cup of sugar, 1.5 cups of water. So let's check it out. It's been simmering and cooling. Smells really, really good. I'll have to taste it and see if it needs a little bit more sugar. The next step is I'll taste it to make sure it's good, and then blend it and then push it through this little mesh strainer. And then we'll have tomato syrup for our little margaritas tonight. I'm excited about it. While I'm waiting for the tomato syrup to cool, I'll tell you about my weekend. It was lovely. Saturday, I went to the beach with Sarah. We had an awesome time. We stayed there for maybe like 4 or 5 hours. This was our first time going to the beach with an umbrella. I did bring one, and it made a world of difference. The people directly in front of us, I was like, Sarah, that's us every year before this year. They were like cooking in the sun. I got so much of Crown of Midnight read. I'm about 15 to 20 pages away from the end. I don't know why I didn't just like finish it up in between projects today. I think I'm trying to savor it. And then we also did an A24 puzzle. I did not want to show you the finished project because I don't think that YouTube would allow it. All I have to say is that it was a scene of Charlie, how can I say this? A scene of Charlie from Hereditary when she lost her mind. If you know, you know. Also at the grocery store, I ended up grabbing birch, smoked salt, which I'm stoked for, and some cranberry mustard, which I want to put on my little vegan sandwiches. Oh, someone told me that the tomato powder is no more. We've used all of it. So they'll definitely have to make some more the next time we make these tomato margaritas, because I think that just would be so good mixed in with the salt on the rim. As I said on my way to the little grocery store, the crystal poncho is not working out. I want to show you my progress, and I'll explain why. So the reason this is not going to work out is because I I didn't cast on enough stitches. This definitely needs to be wider in order to lay across the way that it's supposed to. This will be like more of a cowl neck. Leah and I were kind of brainstorming, trying to figure out what I could do with what I've already knitted, but I do think it would be best if I unraveled it and used the yarn for something else, because I do really like this yarn. I'm not very much of like a sparkle person, but for some reason the co-op blue sequins really do it for me. So going to frog that one. I did make some progress on my cumulus top. It doesn't look like much, and it's actually, if we're being honest, it's not much, but I think I knit about 3 inches more than was there previously. Also wanted to tell you that I am in the process of planning and filming a knitting/craft-based video. I'm gonna have a video of what my knitting, crocheting, and craft plans are for the rest of the year, for the rest of 2026. One of the projects that I had planned was this vertically striped triangle scarf. And I was very excited because this is a free pattern. So I started to knit it yesterday because I was like, I can't even wait until the vlog comes out. I have to cast this on right now, especially because the crystal poncho isn't working out. I did not like that pattern. I did not like it. It was confusing. It created holes in the middle of the scarf. I could not understand how the edges were supposed to work up. It was probably a user error. I'm not a very experienced knitter, but I do enjoy knitting. Then I found this pattern. So I want to show you my color choices and what I have so far. I am loving this pattern. It's extremely easy to follow. It's basically increasing only on the one side. You're making one right. And then this on this side, the straight side that will like go around your neck. I forget what the blue color is called. I have it in my notes, but I don't have them over here. I'll put it on the screen. So I'm using drops heir. This one is black. And then this one is like the cobalt blue color, although I think it's a little bit lighter. I think it's called bluebird. But yes, very, very excited. I also decided to start using my weekly planner again. This is something that I got from Michael's on clearance for $1, and I'm almost done with it. As you can see, Romy got to the edge of it, but that's fine. Doesn't mean I can't use it. And then usually when I tear these off, I use the back for like scrap paper for writing down a list or just some notes. This week, I am dedicating each day to one focus area in the apartment that needs cleaned or organized or something that needs to be done. So let's see. Today, my focus was unpacking and laundry, which I have done. So I'm going to check that off the list. Tomorrow's focus will be cleaning the kitchen and washing the sofa covers. All right, well, I guess I'm done for now. I'll see you in a little. Oh my gosh, I feel like I have so much to tell you. Do I though? I feel like I've had a very busy day. The weather here is very rainy, which is so sad because my little Romy trembles. Mo's just licking my leg. Romy trembles and tries to crawl like inside my skin. It's the saddest thing. I ordered her a little bit more medication for that. Of course, Moshe is unaffected by pretty much every sound. Okay. I need to get okay. Really busy day at work. Huge project is coming to a close. So that's been I wouldn't say stressful. I don't really get stressed at work. I'm very lucky in that way. I don't have a lot of like emotional attachment to my work. It's important, of course, and I love doing it, but I don't have like emotional attachment. It doesn't like plague me at night. I'm able to clock out, clock in. So that's been really busy, but over lunch, I finished Crown of Midnight. During those last few pages, my jaw dropped. There was an incredible conclusion to this book, and I almost completely forgot about reading Assassin's Blade next. I'm so glad that I texted my friend Ashley because she was like, oh, you can definitely read Heir of Fire and Assassin's Blade at the same time because Assassin's Blade is set up like 4 or 5 novellas, so you can like read a little bit at a time or whatever. But my plan is to go all in. I'm reading Assassin's Blade from start to finish and then Heir of Fire. So I'm probably going to start that tonight. I'm so excited. Speaking of books, we have an amazing little free library right around the corner. So literally every morning and evening when I walk by with the dogs, I check it out. Yesterday, I found this copy of A Clockwork Orange, which really is a very cool cover. And I don't have it. That's been on my list of like banned books to buy. I also found this book, which seems interesting. This House of Grief by Helen Garner. And the back, on the evening of September 4th, 2005, which is Father's Day in Australia, Robert Farquharson was driving his 3 young sons back to their mother, from whom he had been separated for about a year. Suddenly, his car veered off the road and plunged into a dam. Farquharson survived, but his boys drowned. Was this a tragic accident or an act of revenge? The court case that followed became a national obsession, a macabre parade of witnesses, family members, and the defendant himself, each forced to relive the unthinkable for an audience of millions. In this House of Grief, Helen Garner tells the definitive and deeply absorbing story through a panoply, Panoply, of perspectives, including her own, as a member of the public, peering into a family's darkest moments and into the exacting procedure of Australia's criminal justice system, which I've heard is bullshit. I have heard that the Australian judicial system is specifically terrible to people who have been essayed. If I don't like it, put it right back in the little free library. Then I found this graphic novel. It's called Feeding Ghosts by Tessa Hulls, and I have to show you the cover. It's really beautiful. This one says on the back, in her evocative, genre-defying graphic memoir, Tessa Hulls tells the story of 3 generations of women in her family, her Chinese grandmother, her mother, Rose, and herself. Growing up, Tessa watches her mother care for Sun Yi. Both women are refugees from communist China. Both struggle under the weight of Sun Yi's unexamined trauma and mental illness. Vowing to escape her mother's smothering fear, Tessa leaves home and travels to the farthest, most remote corners of the globe. But once she turns 30, her roaming begins to feel less like freedom and more like running away, so she returns home to face the history that shaped her family. And I just want to show you some of the pages that caught my eye. I think his name is Junji Ito, but he does graphic novels on the most wild subjects. They're like horror type, and this sort of reminded me of his artwork a little bit, like maybe it's influenced by it. I just think it's so beautiful. I mean, this is just incredible. You can tell that the artist spent so much time on each page, which I love. Next up, my checklist. All right, so what I have checked off so far on my checklist: laundry, cleaning the kitchen, washing the sofa covers, unpack and put away everything from the cabin in my parents' house, and check our electric bill. That's a lot for Tuesday, but I'm very proud of myself. Okay, now I'm going to show you my progress on the striped scarf that I've been making, and then I have to tell you about Leah's house last night. I am officially beyond the halfway point. So basically, today after work, I finished the halfway point. I ended up only doing, I think it was 69 or 70 rows instead of the projected 80, because I sort of like pinned this to the back of my neck, the middle of the back of my neck, and like lightly draped. Here, I'll just show you what I did. So the tip of the triangle, the area where I stopped, is currently in the middle of my neck, back of my neck. And then I'm draping the ties sort of in the front. And I feel like this would be enough to tie with. So I was like, I think I'm going to stop here. I'm definitely using a yarn that is bigger than what the pattern calls for. So I'm kind of going with the flow because it's a very easy pattern. Like I said, it's about 69 or 70 rows. I finished my increases and now I am decreasing. And the decreases use a slip knit stitch, which I've never used. Feeling good about the progress on that. Leah's house was awesome. We presented Hannah with her charm bracelet, and it probably took us an hour to go through it because most of the links had what we were calling a charm story, and we were having Hannah guess what it was referring to, what it represented, what it reflected, and that was so much fun. The tomato margaritas were delicious. I will say that the syrup was a little bit sweet. I would probably go down a quarter to half a cup of sugar, if I'm being honest. I tasted more sugar than tomato. Like I really wanted the tomato flavor to come through a little more. We made the first round to recipe. It was really good, but we were like, okay, this needs a little something. So in the next one, we added much more lime and lemon juice, more tequila, and a little bit less syrup. And that was good, but it was still missing something. I think that the acidity definitely needs to be increased in the recipe, but you can really do it to taste. And then we just mixed Himalayan salt with the birch smoked salt that I got and rimmed the glasses that way and did like a little garnish. And we did the smoked salt on the corn. And then I was just like eating purple basil straight from the plant. It was really nice. Happy Wednesday. I have been up since very early this morning. All right, listen, I'm going to tell you this. Please don't judge me. I have terrible insomnia, so I have to take a sleeping pill every night. Guess what I didn't do? Take my sleeping pill. Guess what I did do instead? Read Assassin's Blade until midnight. Totally forgot to take my sleeping pill. I fell asleep while reading it. Usually when I don't take my sleeping pill, I sleep like shit. And I didn't sleep like shit. I just woke up at 4:30 a.m. So I've been up since then. I've had a very productive morning. Did some dishes, did some stuff around the kitchen, folded some laundry. I put the cushion covers back onto the sofa cushions that I washed yesterday, and I did some knitting. Let me show you my prog. That was probably the worst way to show you a knitting project. How do people hold up their in-progress knitting projects before blocking while it's curling to show the progress? I hope that was good enough. I apologize if it wasn't. I have multiple beverages. This is coffee from La Colombe. We have a subscription with them, and we actually had to pause it because we weren't drinking the coffee fast enough, which is wild. And I also have some water. Drink your water. Delightful. In my coffee, I like it a little bit light. You know what? I'll put the Pantone color that I like my coffee to be. I really prefer the silk vanilla creamer, the one in the carton, not in the plastic. I just think it's so creamy and delicious, and I love the flavor. I know several of my vegan friends, or even non-vegan friends, consider it liquid gold. and sometimes it's hard to find. And then I have some other friends who cannot stand the taste of it. So what do you think? Tell me in the comments. Are we team vanilla silk creamer in the paper carton? Or are we not? What are your milk alternatives or creamer alternatives that you use in your coffee? What am I saying? I did my skincare. As you can tell, I put on some makeup and a cute little outfit. I recently got this. It's like a recycled mesh top from Organic Basics. And then I showed you this dress in a previous thrift haul video. And this is my first time wearing it. I almost said giving it a spin. Okay, so let's see. Did I finish the things on my to-do list? I'm trying to get my computer. Monday's focus was unpack and laundry, which I did. Yesterday's focus was the kitchen and sofa covers. I washed the sofa covers. I put them back on the cushions this morning. I already told you that. And I also deep cleaned the kitchen. I wiped the top of the refrigerator, the inside of the microwave, the stove top, bleached the front of all the cabinets. Today's focus, I have to pay my water bill. And today's focus is cleaning my desk space, which is going to be a project and a half. Currently, my sewing machine is on it. I've been making a quilt for my baby nephew, and I also made cloth napkins. You know what? I should show you guys the cloth napkins that I made because okay, maybe that's for another video. And I made some cloth napkins for a resource exchange at my friend Leah's house, who I'm sure you're well acquainted with at this point if you watch my videos. And I used 100% cotton men's button-down shirts, and I tried to use every single bit, including the button band, the pocket. So in some of them, I placed the pocket so you could actually put silverware into the pocket. Also with the flood, baseboards were just painted yesterday. This has now been a 3-week process, which really all in all is not that long of a time, but our apartment is in such disarray. It is so stressful. I have to order groceries today, and I also have to order medication for the dogs for their anxiety, because we all take medication in this house for anxiety, including the animals. I have a couple of meetings for work today. The girls at work and I were always like, oh, now I have to brush my hair. Okay, so I'm gonna get started on that. I have about 30 minutes until work starts, so probably going to put away some laundry.
asked why I would leave something that was already working. Instead, about general thoughts about life, and then I share a podcast of what I'm making. If you're new here, welcome. Hello, and welcome to this podcast part of the episode. Thank you for staying through the introduction. Or maybe you use the chapters that I've figured out how to put in and just skip straight ahead to this if this is the only part that you are interested in.
Good morning, everyone. I just wanted to show you every month I do these backgrounds that sort of describe my goals or sort of like vibes or feelings that I want to have for the month. And since it is July 30th, I'm going to create my August one. Wanted you guys to come along for that. So basically, I just go onto Pinterest. All right, let's start with DIYs that I would like to do. And then on my laptop, I'm going to open Canva, kind of like this arrangement. So this was mine for June. Okay, so basically I'm just going to go through some of my DIYs and sort out like what are my priority crafts that I would like to make. And I'm just going to add a couple to this collage on Canva that I can be reminded of every day because I set it as my desktop background. So it's like a daily inspiration board, which is really nice. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and work on this and I'll show you the final product. Okay, so I'm definitely not a graphic designer by any means, but this is my finished product and I'll just go through like what each thing means. This, I want to be making insane desserts this month. I want to work on the quote from my nephew. I want to make this pattern. I bought it. Obviously that means August. I love this color palette, so maybe a painting or something fibery in that color palette. I ordered a bathing suit that looks similar to this, so I want to wear that to the beach. These are cute little hats that I don't necessarily want to make this month, but they're just inspiring. More sheer, more elegance, and more titty. So now I'm going to download it. And make it my background. Ta-da! Oh. Okay, well, it's getting cut off a little, so I need to scrunch that. And set it as my desktop. There we go, yay! Perfect. I love it.